The next fly I'm going to tie is the Dunt Dee Wing, an early 19th century Spey pattern for Atlantic salmon. The hook is a Daiichi 2051 size 3/0. And the first thread I'm using for the tag is the Uni-Nylon Denier white. The tinsel for the tag is the Lagartun fine oval silver tinsel. Start the thread at the return eye and trim the tag. Take a piece of oval tinsel and remove the section of the tinsel down to the core. Secure the tinsel by the core at the start of the wrap and set it so the tinsel portion is even with the barb. Wrap with smooth wraps to that point. Wrap a base for the tinsel and spiral the thread out of the way. Wrap the tinsel edge to edge for 5 turns. Strip the tinsel to the core again. Unwind the thread and secure by the core with smooth slightly past the point and trim the excess. Wrap the thread to the starting point and trim any excess tinsel. Take a piece of blue silk floss and remove a thin section. Secure it underneath the hook at the start with smooth wraps all the way to the tinsel. Wrap a smooth base to that point and spiral the thread out of the way. Wrap the silk floss along the base. Unwind the thread and secure the floss along the threaded area. Trim the rest and burnish the silk wrap so it's smooth. Next, take a section of the golden pheasant crest, slightly longer than the bend of the hook, already prepared, and flatten the stem. Secure the crest on top of the hook in the center, and wrap the thread to the start. Whip finish and trim. Next, I'm switching over to the Uni-Thread 17/0 Trico to secure the veil at the tail. Wrap the thread at the start, trim the tag, and bring it back to the base of the tail. Prepare 2 small jungle cock feathers. Remove the fluffy bottom portion. You just want the clean tips. Secure the tips one at a time by the tapered section of the lower stems on each side of the crest, left and right, and even. Trim the excess stems and build up the thread into a taper. Trim the excess stems and build up the thread on a taper. Next, take a strand of ostrich roll, strip away the fibers from the butt, a small section to the stem. Secure the herl by the stem at the base of the completed section. Build up the base for the butt and spiral the thread out of the way. Wrap the herl edge to edge along the base, usually 5 turns. Unwind the thread and secure the rest of the herl along the threaded area and trim the rest. Whip finish and trim. The next thread I'm going to use is the Semperfli Nano Silk 18/0 white, a strong thin thread. Start the thread and trim the tag. I'm going to prepare a large flat silver embossed tinsel. Cut a notch into the tinsel with curved scissors. Secure the tinsel with a few wraps under the hook and adjust the tinsel so the thinnest portion of the notch is at the base of the Herl butt. Have the notch facing down. Next, take a section of the oval silver tinsel, prepare it the same way as the tag, and secure it by the core beside the flat tinsel. Adjust so the tinsel portion is at the base of the butt. Hold both tinsels together firmly and wrap the thread with edge-to-edge smooth wraps to the base of the butt. Bring the thread back to the start and add the second strand of blue silk floss and secure it with smooth wraps to the butt. Next, wrap the flat tinsel as a rib and mark where the second rib falls. Unwind the tinsel and move it aside with the oval. Build up the thread as a base in that area between the mark and the butt. Spiral the thread out of the way and burnish the area so it's smooth. Wrap the silk floss forward, slightly overlap to the mark. Unwind the thread, secure the floss from underneath the hook along the length of the threaded area. Trim the excess and burnish the silk floss so it's smooth. Mark the threaded area in 3 equal parts for each section of the dubbing. For the body, I'm using 3 seals for a dubbing: orange, red, and fiery brown. Split the thread, wax, and add orange seals for a dubbing. Add the dubbing twister, double over the thread, and spin to secure the dubbing. Attach the hackle plier and wrap the dubbing over the first section. Pull the fibers back with your fingers and secure by the thread and build up the thread. Next, prepare the brown Heron hackle. Flatten the stem and fold the hackle. Secure the hackle by the tip from underneath the hook and trim the rest. Add the next 2 seals for dubbing, red and fiery brown, between the marked sections, using the same steps as the orange dubbing to secure it. Once complete, brush out the dubbing, fold the Heron hackle towards the eye and secure it with a single wrap of the thread to keep it out of the way. Start the ribbing by wrapping the flat embossed silver tinsel first. The first wrap goes around the blue silk floss, the second around the orange seals fur dubbing, the third around the red dubbing and behind the Heron hackle, and the fourth around the fiery brown dubbing. Secure the rest of the tinsel in front of the dubbing and trim the excess and build up the thread. Next, wrap the silver oval tinsel tight to the flat tinsel and secure it in front of the dubbing and trim the excess. Wrap the Heron hackle along the rib tight to the oval tinsel. Once you get past the dubbing, wrap the remaining hackle as a collar, secure by the stem, trim the rest and build up the thread. Next, prepare a second Heron hackle the same way as the first and secure it by the tip from underneath the hook. Fold the tip over and secure and trim the rest. Wrap the hackle as a collar with edge-to-edge wraps, secure by the stem, trim and build up the thread. Next, prepare a teal hackle. Flatten the stem and fold the hackle. Secure the hackle by the tip, fold the tip over and secure. Wrap the teal hackle as a collar tight to the heron collar, pulling the fibers back with your fingers. Secure by the stem and trim. Next, prepare the white tip turkey. Both white tips even and the widths are even. To secure the wings, place both wings flat together, with the longest tips even. Place it on top of the hook. Measure. You want the tips even with the bend of the hook and secure it tent style with a soft loop. Then add a few more wraps to secure. Next, prepare 2 jungle cock feathers. The lengths are about even with the beginning of the red dub body. Clean the stems at that point and flatten with pliers. Secure the jungle cock eyes by the stems on each side, left and right, below each wing. Using a razor, trim the excess on a taper for a neat head. Build up the thread, whip finish, and trim. Switch over to a black thread, whip finish, trim, and add thin head cement. Once completely dry, finish the head with 5-minute epoxy. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and hit the like button to see more of them. Thank you.